Hi, welcome everyone to Red Kite's virtual careers fair for 2021. These events are very important for us to help people in the community and support people who are looking to get into employment or further their career. And throughout these tough times, it's a good opportunity to mix with employers and also organisations that can help you on your journey. We've got an exciting agenda today, a mix of employers with local opportunities, as well as some organisations that can help you in employment search, as well as breaking some barriers down. We've designed the day to allow you to listen to the employers' presentations, as well as the opportunity to go into special rooms that you can have a more informal chat to those employers. So I'll mention about the IT side. So when you're in the main session, which is here, you'll be live in this area and your cameras will be turned off and microphones will be muted. I'll interact with the employers. I'll make a presentation. We've designed this for our section, so we'll have 3 or 4 employers make the presentations, and then we can go into the rooms. You'll see on the right there is a chat function, so you can use that to have ongoing chats during the ask some questions, and we can talk about that. You can also use the Q&A tab on the right hand side, and they can ask questions to the speakers. During the network breaks, you'll see that there's a social lounge area, and that's where all the employers will be, and they've all got their own branded table. So when we sit there and say, okay, we can go into the networking area, all you have to do is press join, and you'll go into those tables. You can take a virtual seat at the table, and there you can ask the questions about vacancies and what it's like to work at the organisation, any of those questions that may not have been answered through the presentations. In that time, you can turn your mic camera on and both your microphone to make sure you're visible and can talk about it. If you have any questions regarding the platform, there is a help desk there, and we have people available to be able to connect with you and talk to you about if it's not working or functions within the system. So, as I said today, it's a very important day for us as Red Kite, as a community organisation. We'd like to help people, and this is not only for our residents, it's for everyone in our community, and we'd like to make this connection with local employers. So let's start the day right off. Our first presentation is from Lisa Marsland, who's a National Partnership Manager from Skilla, and she'll come on, and then I'll come and introduce you to our further presentations. Hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I'll hand it over to Lisa.
Thanks, Damon. Hi, everybody. My name's Lisa Marsland. Oh, sorry, I'll just put the camera on. Hiya. My name's Lisa. I'm a National Partnership Manager with a company called Skilla. We're based in Manchester, but don't let that put you off being a northerner. We have some fantastic courses for people across the whole of Great Britain. What my role entails is that I'm the lead for the Greater London area, but also for the south of England. I have done a presentation, so I will just share that with you, and I will whiz through that quite quickly, because I don't want to bore you, because I know I'm the first one of the morning. So here we go. Okay. Okay. So as I said, my name is Lisa Marsland, and I am the National Partnership Manager for Skilla for the Southern region. Who are Skilla? Well, what Skilla are is we are a platform that was created to bridge the gap between the unemployed, funding training partners, and also support advisors. So in a nutshell, we are the glue that holds the training providers and also the people like work coaches, support networks for people who are currently unemployed and wishing to get back into the job market. Skilla's mission and aim, in a very, very short nutshell, is we're here to assist, support and navigate unemployed skill seekers to free local or national funded training. So what we also want to do is we want to get possible unemployed people to maximise their potential to realise their ambitions and also secure greater employment opportunities by getting the correct skills, not only for work, but also for life as well. Okay. How can we help you? Skilla has some fantastic courses that we're allowed access to. We work with, as we said, we work with a lot of training providers to be able to present these. And I'll just give you a flavour of what we have access to at this moment. The Digital Technology Level 2 course is a brand new course that has only been running for a month. It is a remote course, so learners can use this at home. Learners must have access to either a laptop, a computer, or at the absolute minimum, a large-sized tablet. You cannot do these courses on a smartphone, unfortunately, because you just cannot be online with a tutor and also complete the work at the same time. That is a 5-day course that is a recognised qualification, and it will also allow you a little bit of a step up and a little bit more knowledge into the world of digital technology. We also run 5-day CSCS courses, again, remote courses with tutors, which have funded tests, and also they will pay for your green card, which will allow you access to construction sites. So again, it's the first level green card if you want to go into the CSCS world. The course is brilliant, and it will also allow you to get access to a level 1 in health and safety in constructions. We also run, and I think this is one of our most popular courses, which is a functional skills course. That course is all about for learners that may have not done very well in school, or at the time they didn't realise how important these qualifications were, to get a functional skills in maths, English and ICT. For learners that pass this exam, it is the equivalent, it's at level 2, is the equivalent of a grade C GCSE, and is what a lot of employers are looking for these days when they say that if you want to apply for a job, you must have a qualified maths and English qualification. I'll go slightly over the other two because these are very, very London-based courses. We have an adult social care course with guaranteed job interviews. That's a 5-week remote blended learning course, which means it's 3 days working in your own time, working on the modules, and 2 days online with a tutor. Your work will be marked, and at the end of the course, once your work has been marked, the training provider will get you a guaranteed job interview within your local catchment area. Just to give you also heads up as well, some of those jobs are also as a pathway into working within the NHS. And we all understand what a great job the NHS has been doing over the past 18 months and continue to do that job. So if anybody that wishes to do that or wants that pathway, it is a fantastic course and a brilliant opportunity. And the final course that I've outlined on there is our level 2 award in supporting teaching and learning in schools. Again, what that is, it's in a nutshell, that is a teaching assistant. What this training provider will do as well is at the end of the 5-week course, they will actually pay for those learners who have stayed with them. Again, it's a blended course, 3 weeks working in your own time, so you can actually work it around your life, and then just 2 days of the week online with a tutor. But they will actually pay for an enhanced DBS, because in order for anybody to then progress and go into a placement, you must have this enhanced DBS before you will be allowed into a school. They will support you as well for the 6 months while you're on that placement, and that's when you work towards your level 2 certificate. Once you're in place, then it's the world is basically your oyster. You can then go into further level awards, moving up, and it could even lead into a full teaching, dependent upon where you wish to go with your career. Okay. I've just put a little bit about the learner's journey here, but I'm just going to skip over that because I know I've only got until 10:15. Okay. I will go over the eligibility. So learners must be 19 plus. We do have access to some traineeships at Skilla. And again, when they come out, I always send out schedules to all of my referral partners. A lot of the traineeships are in skilled areas, such as we've had some learners in forklift trucks. We've also had learners in the warehousing, again in CSCS. but also in adult social care and teaching assistant. And again, once I have access to these courses, I will be sending these out to all of my referral partners. All learners must be currently unemployed, not in education, and receipt of a job-seeking benefit. And the other thing as well is they must not have completed these qualifications previously at a higher level. So, for instance, if a learner wants to come and do a level 1 CSCS qualification, if they haven't done any form of CSCS qualifications before, that's fine. But if they've done a level 2 in any form of construction or anything that's linked to construction, unfortunately, they wouldn't access the government funding to be able to get access to the course. Okay. And the others is as I alluded to previously, you must have access to either a laptop or a computer or a large size smart tablet, with a stable Wi-Fi connection to do these remote courses. I've put my contact details on there because unfortunately I'm not going to be able to join in the table once at 11 o'clock. But my details are on there. I'll read them out for you just in case you've got a dodgy connection. My contact number is 07813 973 649. I am on annual leave this week, but I'll return to the office on Monday. So if you'd like to drop me a text to that number and I can respond on Monday, please do so. My email address is there as well, which is lisa.marsland, and that's spelled M-A-R-S for sugar, L-A-N-D, at jobskilla.co.uk. And the office phone number is 0330 113 0113. Okay, I'll stop sharing now, just in case, okay? And I will come back to the platform. There we go. Hashim, yes, some of these are London-based. However, some of these courses that we do are national. So, for example, the CSCS course that we have, the 5-day remote course, is an actual remote course that we run twice a month. And yes, Hashim, it is London-based. It's London-based, but also it's out of London base. And I understand, and because I'm very active on LinkedIn, I've seen the amount of building work that's happening around the London area. So it is a fantastic course and also a fantastic qualification for anybody to get. The functional skills course is a 6-week course. So the way that it works, it's 2 weeks maths, 2 weeks English, and 2 weeks ICT, which is an IT qualification. And yes, it is remote. The way that the qualifications work is that once the course is completed, the training provider will obviously plan exams, and they will keep in very close contact with learners and explain to them the date, the time, and the venue that they must arrive to complete their examinations. Okay. And I've seen that I've now come close to I'm on my 10:15. So Damon, is that okay for you?
Yeah, sorry, that's fine with me. But yeah, I'll just tell you, everyone, we'll have all those slides available later and be able to share them out. So don't rush down for the contact details. We'll get save Lisa's details and have them available for everyone to see at a later date.
Thank you, Damon.
Thanks a lot, Lisa. Thanks for your help in that.
Yeah.
Oh, bye, Lisa. Okay, I hope everyone enjoyed that. Some useful information about training. So next we'll go into our next presentation. We have Emily Philpott from Thames Valley Police that will be coming to here she is. Speak to you about opportunity. There's loads of opportunities in Thames Valley Police, not just on the front line, but in the back line. But I don't want to steal Emily's thunder. So I'll pass it over to you, Emily. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Yes, my name is Emily Philpott, and I am the Recruitment Events Coordinator for Thames Valley Police. So I'll be chatting to you today about the variety of roles we've got in the police, and also just doing a bit of a myth busting as well. So if we can go on to the next slide, please, Lee. So just first off, just kind of covering off kind of, who we are, but kind of really, because a lot of people feel that they know the police, you see us out, we get called a variety of things, but actually we are much more than kind of the blue lights and the uniform. We go much deeper than that. So to put it into perspective for you guys, we employ roughly 8,000 members of the public, and that is split into staff members and officers. And that's roughly a 50-50 split. So for those of you thinking, you know, well, I'd have to become a police officer to be part of the police, it's very much not that. Roughly 4,000 of our individuals are staff members like myself. Thames Valley Police covers a really large area, and you can see on the map there. So we cover the 3 counties of Buckinghamshire, Berkshire and Oxfordshire. And within our area, we are home to about 2.3 million people. And on any given year, a non-COVID year, we'd be looking at another 6 million visitors coming through our patch at any one time. So we have a huge amount of people to protect and serve throughout our year, and that makes policing for Thames Valley Police, in whatever role you're doing, a very exciting and varied one. Because of our proximity, we get involved with lots of well-known events such as the Royal Weddings, presidential visits, Royal Ascot, Reading Festival, just to name a few. So as you can see, working for us, you know, gives you access to such a range of different areas and types of, you know, crimes and types of positions that you could be open to. Can we go on to the next slide, please? So really what I'm here to talk to you guys today is talking about really the importance of you, and Thames Valley Police are very keen to get as much diversity into our policing structure as possible. And really the reason for that is because over recent years, we have become aware that, you know, the police hasn't been as diverse as we would like it to be. And we really feel that actually being passionate about diversity and inclusion isn't just so that we're more representative. It's so that as a police force, we can better serve our communities. And really many of the attributes that are hugely important for us lay in your toolbox for whatever background you've come from. You know, for example, one of our biggest things is determination. And most people sat here today will have worked hard at some point in their life, managed workloads, developed relationships. And as officers, that's probably our biggest skill, is developing those relationships and managing the workloads. And integration as well. Again, most of you will have learned how to be in a new society at one point or another, or how to understand and communicate to all different walks of life. Every day, you know, living in the UK, we are living in diverse situations with new people, scenarios, beliefs, culture. And again, that wraps up into a really nice toolkit for you to come into policing. And every person right now brings a unique set of differences. Every person on this call will experience this talk in a different way. Maybe that's because you're sat in a different place, you've got different people in the background, whatever it is. And beyond that set of differences, it could be, you know, religion, faith, culture, language, skin colour, but it could also be your favourite food, a unique birthmark, an anecdote from your holiday. And all of those experiences are unique to us. And as the police, we need to operate to combine those so that we're able to gain wisdom from all of us, because every person is an expert in their own story. And as a police, we need to be experts in our community. And that really is the only way we are going to be able to police in a positive way. So it's really today talking to you about, you know, you are in the optimum position to make a real difference to your community and policing. And we need that difference of thinking. It, you know, showing the little fish on the screen there, if we all think the same, we have the same outcomes. And if we have people who think differently, we have different outcomes, and we will have better and more diverse and more inclusive outcomes. So that's really why today it's so important for us to chat to you about those different ways that you can come into policing, because as I said, it's not just about becoming a police officer. So can we go on to the next slide, please, Lee? So on this slide here, I'm aware it's a bit small, but I think there is a full screen button if you want to press on that. This just kind of shows you what our entry routes are if you do want to go into frontline. So if you're thinking you want a job role that is about community, it's that problem solving, it's that really making a difference to people's lives day in, day out. If you're thinking, I don't necessarily want to be behind an office, I want to be out and about, but how can I go into that? So we've got 4 different areas really, and I'm going to touch on them very briefly, and if you need any more information you can come join us at a table and we can go anything through for you. So starting off on the left hand corner, top left hand corner, we've got our PCDA. So that's our apprenticeship in policing. It's a 3-year apprenticeship. In order to come on to that, you need to have your GCSE in English and Maths, or you can have your functional skills level 2. So as we've just heard from Skilla, you could go on to their course and get your functional skills level 2. And you need to have 2 A-levels, or again, you can have the equivalency in whatever that is. So that might be a BTEC, a diploma. It might be that you're coming to us with a wealth of professional experience, that you have done things in your working life that prove that you can manage, again, workloads, you can communicate well with the public, you can deal well in stressful situations, and that would take place of those A-levels. At the end of that 3-year apprenticeship, you would result in a degree in professional policing practice that is fully paid for from day one, and you're on a salary of $26,780 again from day one. That's a minimum of being 17 to apply and a maximum of 55. That's our entry route for the ages. But like I said, it is a very diverse apprenticeship. 90% of it is on the job in uniform, being a police officer, with slots of academic learning, which we give you full support for. If you are coming in with a degree, we've got our DHEP entry route. So this is a 2-year course, and rather than having your GCSEs and A-levels, you need to have a degree. That's a degree of any level, of any qualification, but you need to have a degree, and it results in a graduate diploma. So rather than resulting in a degree, it would result in a graduate diploma, and you still start on the starting salary. Again, it would be a blended learning of being in uniform and working on your graduate diploma. Now, if you wanted to go straight in as a detective, we do have that route as well. But again, that is for degree holders. That is a 2-year course again, any degree. And again, it would result in a graduate diploma, and you would also be a fully qualified detective by the end of those 2 years. Now, if you're sat there thinking, well, I don't have a degree, but I want to become a detective, that's not a problem. You can come in through our PCDA program, and as soon as you finish that 3-year apprenticeship, you would be more than welcome to go and apply to become your detectives at that point. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, okay, well, actually, I do want to work in the communities. I do really want that, making a difference to people's lives every day, but I'm not quite sure I want to become a police officer. So where can I go? And we have several frontline staff roles. So you could become a PCSO, or a police community support officer. So years ago, there was this vision of the Bobby on the beat. Everybody knew who that person was. You could go up to them, chat to them. They knew who your family was. They knew what was going on in your local community. Unfortunately, because of the rise in crimes in the UK, we don't have that ability anymore. But what we do have in place is our PCSOs. So these individuals are uniformed, but they don't hold police powers. So they can't arrest, they don't have batons, they don't have anything other than their mouth to communicate with their neighbourhood. But it's a really fantastic position. The neighbourhood gets to know who their local PCSOs are, the schools know who they are, and really you're going into those neighbourhoods to be that friendly face, to be that positive presence. And at the same time, you're gathering intelligence, you're working with the neighbourhoods to help any crimes that are going on, and if need be, passing that on to officers. So you might be thinking, okay, that's great. I'm still not sure I want to be out and about. So where's that job for me? So you might want to look at coming into contact management. So contact management is our 999 and 101 call handlers. So those are the individuals that when you phone the police, pick up and, guide you through the process of getting an officer to you, to whatever that may be. Again, as an apprenticeship route in, and that would be shift work, but it would be in an office environment. And those offices for us are in Milton Keynes, Kidlington and Abingdon. And like I said, it would be an apprenticeship route. So that's a really great role for those of you who maybe have retail experience or contact centre experience and are looking for a job role where you are really making that difference. Again, we've got detention officers. So these are the individuals who are in custody, checking in individuals after they've come into our care and also seeing that individual throughout custody. Contrary to some beliefs, we do have a very high level of care in custody, and our detention officers are not only responsible for helping officers, but also for helping that individual whilst they are in our care. And also we've got inquiry officers as well. So this is kind of that front desk. If you go into a police station, that individual who is there to process you, whether you are a victim, a witness, a member of public, an offender, and they will be the one kind of being that front line at that front desk to guide you through how we can help you. So that's obviously a very exciting, varied role, but again, more office-based. Can we go on to the next slide, please, Lee? So to break that down just for you a little bit clearer, just to show you kind of the comparison for those. So a police officer, you'd be looking at coming through the PCDA or a DHEP. If you wanted to be a police staff member, you'd be looking at coming in as a PCSO or contact management. If you wanted to be out and about in the community, you'd be looking at police constable degree apprenticeship, the degree holder entry program, or PCSO. If you were looking for an apprenticeship, you'd be looking for the PCDA, the PCSO, or the contact management, not the DHEP. And the qualifications we look for a PCDA, we look for your GCSEs or A-levels. Again, that can be a mix of functional skills or experience. For the degree holder, we look for the degree. For PCSO, we ask you to have your GCSEs or, again, your functional skills. And if you're looking at contact management, there's no formal qualifications needed for that. And next slide, please, Lee. So what about other roles? Because you might be sat there thinking, well, none of those really appeal to me, but the police could be an exciting place to work. And it is. We have a huge mix of other roles. As I mentioned, 4,000 of us are police staff members. And that comes in a variety of forms. That can be in forensics and legal. It can be in criminal justice, finance, ICT, communications, administration roles. And really the list does go on. HR, really, I will often say motor vehicle finance, engineering. I will quite often say to people that I don't often get told I want to work in a specific area and I can't match them with a job. The only one I've been met with that was a lady yesterday who came up to me and said, I want to become a beautician. And unfortunately, we don't have any beautician roles in the police. But 9 times out of 10, if you come to me with some transferable skills and you'll say to me, you know, I've got these transferable skills, I'm looking for a job with those skills, we'll be able to find you a job role for you. And if you've got any questions about that, come and chat to us about our table and I can go over any roles, specifically those police officer roles or the PCSO, the contact management roles or any other roles. It's worth noting that we are open for applications for PCSOs and contact management right now. So more than happy to chat to you about that as well. And can we just go on to the final slide, please, Lee? So I've had a chat to you a bit about, you know, kind of how we work as the police, but how do we support you? Because ultimately, we know we recognise that as an employee, you want to be supported, you want to feel as part of that wider family unit. And at policing level, we really do see ourselves as a family. And it sounds a bit cliche, but it really is true. And off the back of that, we are super committed to equality and inclusion, and we have a huge variety of staff support networks. They act as our crucial friends, and there's a list of them on the screen there. There's a huge other mix as well that just physically wouldn't fit on the screen, but that gives you a taster. All of those staff support networks will not only support individuals coming into the force from one of those areas, but they will work with our senior management team to change policies, to actively look at our benefits and our HR policies and change them if need be to ensure that we are committed to equality and inclusion. And we've got some other great benefits as well. We've got sports and social clubs. We've got a blue light card member, which, you know, if you've seen that during COVID, it's been a fantastic help. When you're coming up to Christmas, it's absolutely brilliant to get a bit of money off. We have housing help, help to buy schemes and rental. And beyond that, we have training courses and mentoring support for anybody's career development for whatever route you go into. So that brings me to the end of my time. So I will pass back. But just to say, we're going to be here at the table all day. Please do come and have a chat to us. More than happy for you to ask any questions at all. I can show you the entry routes. I can show you our timetables of those entry routes, and we can go anything for you. But I hope that's giving you a taster and maybe a bit of an insight into the police that you might not necessarily have thought of before. Back over to you, Damon.
Thanks, Emily. No, really fantastic, all those opportunities were there. And as Emily said, in 15 minutes, we'll go out to the tables and Emily will be there. Now for our next presentation, I'll hand over to Patti Patterson from FEI Care, who I know has got lots of opportunities within Buckinghamshire area, and he'll be able to tell you the exciting opportunities in that organisation. Thanks, Paddy. Over to you. Nice to see you again.
Hello, morning, Damon. Nice to see you too again. Hello, everyone. Nice to be here, and really nice to join you this morning. I'm just going to share my slide deck, and if someone's able to give me a sign that you can see what I'm sharing, that would be great.
Yep, we can see that now,
Is that
Paddy.
visible? Okay, thanks, Damon. That's fantastic. Okay, so my name's Patti Patterson. I'm the Skills, Employment and Education Manager at EKFB Joint Venture. So in terms of who EKFB are, first of all, we are a joint venture made up of 4 international construction/engineering companies. So we have Eiffage, we have Kier, we have Ferrovial, and we have BAM. And we are a mainworks civils contractor working on the HS2 project. So in terms of the project, first of all, the scope of it. So this is part of the HS2 project, which everyone should have heard of, I expect, and will be familiar with. Really a sort of once in a generation project. It's the largest infrastructure project in Europe, which is all about connectivity. People think of it mainly about the sort of high-speed element and the timing of trains between Birmingham and London, but it's so much more than that in terms of a project, in terms of its impact, both in skills and environment and other legacy pieces as well. So on the screen you should see the map of our route, or the trace as we call it, and that's the bit sort of in yellow orange in the middle. So you can see to the bottom of the screen at the top, those are the bits that sort of go towards London, Birmingham. So we're the bit in the middle. So we're very rural, and from the south in South Buckinghamshire, we go all the way up through Bucks. We cut through Oxfordshire, North Oxfordshire, South Northants, and then we end up sort of in the Southam area in South Warwickshire. So significant project, 80 kilometres of trace, and in order to manage a project like that, we've split it up into 5 individual project areas. So again, it sort of recognises that something of this scale has lots of individual challenges across the different areas of the geography. So in terms of the project, again, we're looking at a sort of 5-year project, projected to finish around 25-26, and it's worth over £2 billion worth in contract value. So again, it's the sort of scale of the project is huge, and not something a lot of us have worked on before. So again, a massive opportunity on that front. So what I want to do is just give you some numbers around the EKFB project, just to kind of give you, again, a sense of the scale of it. So 81 overbridges, 17 viaducts. So again, we are the bit that comes before the rails, if you like. So we're preparing the way for the rails to go down. So that requires an awful lot of earth movement, building of bridges and viaducts and tunnels as well. So the green tunnels that we mentioned, some of the ones towards the south are your more traditional tunnels that you might imagine are kind of use boring machines. But a lot of the tunnels in our project will be what we call cut and cover. We effectively dig a trench, and then you kind of build over it. You build a roof, for want of a better term, over it. And those have got interesting and significant benefits in terms of environment, in terms of the view and the landscape, etc., etc. And you can see there we cover a lot of council areas, a lot of parish councils, district councils. So again, all of those relationships need to be carefully managed. It's fairly. I think it's fair to say the project is controversial in areas, and depending on the impact of it, and we need to manage those relationships very sensitively with the neighbours and the communities in which we work with. And one of the ways that we're trying to make a positive impact beyond the project itself is in terms of the skills, employment and education opportunities that we're going to provide. So I mentioned a couple of minutes ago that this is the largest infrastructure project in Europe. As you might imagine, it requires quite a significant workforce. So on our piece of the project, we've projected that we're going to create up to 5,000 jobs across the lifetime of the project, and that's really from sort of last year right up to 25-26. And that doesn't necessarily mean there will be 5,000 people employed on the project at any one time, because obviously there will be movement within that. But again, across the whole workforce, in the lifetime of the project, we expect there to be up to 5,000 jobs created. We're probably over halfway through that now in terms of the people that we've employed on the project. One of the really pleasing aspects of being involved in it is during the last 12 to 18 months, as lots of sectors and industries have been impacted by COVID, we've been very positive and very very proactive in terms of our recruitment. We've mobilised a considerable workforce from a fairly small number to start off with. And just to give you an idea, within my own organisation, within EKFB, I joined, I think we were just around 200, between 200 and 300 people, and we're now in and around 800. And that's all happened during COVID, when a lot of people have unfortunately had to rethink their career choices, rethink their options. And so that's been really good in terms of an inclusion and a diversity piece, and that we've been able to bring in new ideas, bring in skills from other sectors. And that's something, again, that I really want to kind of focus on in the rest of my talk. And again, also on the tables later on, it'd be really good to speak to people from other industries. So in terms of that wider workforce, as I say, we have a core EKFB team, if you like, but in terms of the work that's being done out on the sites, and in other areas of the project, those will be employed through supply chain organisations, and also through what we've called our labour desk. So we have 6 agencies who we have employed to work together to provide that labour desk function. So they'll be out and about now recruiting for a number of roles, both site-based, office-based, across the organisation. So that, plus what we're doing ourselves within EKFB, hopefully presents a broad range of roles, some of which might be surprising to you, some of which may be roles that you haven't heard of or haven't considered. So again, what I really want to get across today is the breadth of opportunity in a project of this size. So I've just put down some examples on here of different types of roles that we're currently recruiting for at the moment. Now, it goes without saying, we're always looking to recruit engineers and quantity surveyors and some of the more traditional roles that you would associate with a project like this. But we've got quite a significant need for environmental advisors. Now, the environment and the impact, and also the benefits on the environment are one of the key aspects of our project. And so, we have quite a big team of people working in this space. So again, that's a role that a lot of people don't necessarily always associate with this type of project, but it's become increasingly important on these types of projects that we have expertise and advisors in place to make sure that we're actually being as responsible as we can in terms of our impact on the environment. Ground workers, goes without saying that when you're moving considerable numbers of tons of soil that we're moving, we're going to need an awful lot of people to actually operate machinery, some very high-tech machinery, which again will surprise some people in terms of the sophistication of the technology and the software that we have on board. So again, on the one hand, it's often seen as digging holes, but actually there's an awful lot more goes into it than just that. And like an awful lot of industries, drivers we are really keen and really looking for drivers at the moment. Again, it's a highly contested area, but the mobilisation of our workforce, the movement of materials, and other resources requires an awful lot of drivers. And then probably going hand in hand with that, traffic marshals. So again, thinking about traffic on and off site, thinking about impacts in local areas, road closures, road diversions. So again, having traffic marshals in place to kind of manage that and support that. Again, those are things that we're currently focusing on at the moment in terms of our recruitment. And so as I mentioned at the start, we're one of a number of joint ventures working on the HS2 project. And again, thinking about the wider opportunities within HS2 as the overall project, there are a number of roles within other joint ventures within HS2 in terms of their head office, and other roles within there as well. So we are an active part of the HS2 job brokerage service, and alongside that we're working actively with organisations such as the Job Centre, with places like Buildforce and the Shaw Trust, who again are trying to support their clients into new opportunities. So we're a proud and positive partner within the HS2 job brokerage service. Something else I wanted to mention today, and again, I've been really interested to speak to people in the chat rooms afterwards around some of our supply chain opportunities. So a project like this doesn't just exist on its own. We don't just come in, do our work and leave again. We have quite a big impact on the local economy and other areas. So again, if you think about that big workforce that we have mobilised, including a lot of people who are coming in from out of area, that requires an awful lot of goods and services to support that. So again, there's a number of opportunities through our supply chain in areas like transport, accommodation, hospitality and security, just to name but a few. So again, on a practical level, having a they need places to eat, they need places to socialise, they need services. So again, that creates opportunities in the local economy, and particularly amongst SMEs who are keen to engage. So again, I think one of the phrases that we use regularly is you don't have to be an engineer to work in engineering, because of just the range of opportunities that are available in and around a project of this size. Training and placement opportunities are going to be an area that we're focusing on. Indeed, we are currently focusing on that in some way. So we've trained probably over 400 to 500 people in plant operating and associated occupations through a training hub that we established. We will be offering apprenticeships. We've probably got 70 apprentices on the project at the moment. Work experience, both virtual and on site, will be things that we're looking at. And again, that's not just a traditional sort of school-based work experience. We're going to be looking to work with FE colleges and other organisations that are looking to get people back into work, people looking to change careers or start a new career. So again, we see work placements as being a really vital pillar in that process. And then the last one for me, in terms of our overall agenda, we have a significant piece of work to do around equality, diversity and inclusion. I think it's fair to say our industry has got a lot of progress to make. We are seen as, probably a kind word would be traditional. I think underrepresented would be another word that we might use. So we've got a massive opportunity here in this project to look at how we're engaging with females into construction and engineering roles. We need to look at how we're working with ethnic minority communities. We also need to think about how we're working with learners with disabilities and employees with disabilities. Some more obvious than others, but we've got a big piece of work to do around that. So I think that diversity of thought and diversity of experience is really important for us in order for our industry to progress and be seen as a positive pillar of the economy. We've got a significant piece of work to do around our ADI agenda. So again, it'd be really interesting to have conversations with people from different backgrounds and different experiences, and obviously help to open up maybe some thinking around the opportunities that are available on our project. And I look forward to meeting some of you in due course. Back to you, Damon.
Thanks, Paddy. Thanks for that. All the exciting opportunities for at EKFB. That's it for our first session of presentations. So we'll have Emily will be available for Thames Valley Police, and Paddy will be available for EKFB. We're also going to have another company organisation available for a chat, which is Gilmartins, which is a construction company which are based in the southeast, and they'll be able to talk about opportunities such as multi-trades, plumbers, carpenters, bricklayers, plasterers, roofers, available right now, both in London, Hertfordshire, Buckinghamshire. But I don't want to spoil Tom's chat with you. So once you're able to go in, you'll be able to join one of those three tables, which is their brandings there is Gilmartins, Thames Valley Police, or EKFB. So I will leave that now and open that up, and we'll see you back here just before 11 o'clock.